Okay, so are you, like, gearing up for a job interview? Or maybe you're just kind of fascinated by the whole hiring process. Like,
Right.
how do people on the other side of the table actually decide who to pick?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, today's deep dive is going to give you some serious insider perspective.
Okay.
We're diving into this LinkedIn post by Brewster Rawls.
Okay.
He's a medical malpractice attorney.
Interesting.
And this post sparked like a ton of debate.
Really?
He sets up this hypothetical hiring scenario
Uh-huh.
to show what he really looks for in a potential employee.
Okay. I'm intrigued now.
And it's really interesting because
Yeah.
it gets you thinking about those like unspoken biases
Oh, yeah.
we all kind of bring to the table when we're hiring people.
Totally.
Like, what makes you think
Uh-huh.
someone's going to be a hard worker?
Right.
What signals intelligence to you?
Yes.
This post makes you confront all those assumptions.
For sure. For sure.
So Rawls presents this scenario
Yeah.
with two law school grads,
Okay.
student A and student B. Got it.
On paper, they're pretty similar.
Okay.
Decent grades, good law schools,
Yeah.
but their backgrounds are totally different.
Okay. Interesting.
So student A
Yeah.
went to like a prestigious private college and majored in political science,
Poli-sci.
poli-sci for short.
Oh.
Had those like impressive sounding internships
Yeah.
that look good on a resume,
Oh, I see.
but don't really tell you anything about their skills.
Right.
Shows up to the interview perfectly polished,
Mm-hmm.
well dressed. You can tell they come from like a wealthy family.
Right.
So then you've got student B,
Okay.
who went to a state school you probably haven't even heard of.
Hmm.
Their major chemistry.
Okay.
To pay for school, they waited tables.
Wow.
Spent a couple of summers working in a hospital lab.
Huh.
Maybe not as polished in the interview,
Yeah.
but likable.
Mm-hmm.
Down to earth.
Okay.
Clearly comes from a more modest background.
Interesting contrast. Okay, so here's the twist.
Okay.
Rawls says, given the choice,
Yeah.
he would hire student B every time.
Really?
And the internet basically exploded.
That's fascinating, right?
It is, right?
Because on the
Yeah.
surface, student A seems like the obvious choice. You know, the pedigree, the
Mhm.
smooth presentation.
Uh-huh.
But Rawls argues that student B's background actually reveals a lot more about their potential.
I see.
He even jokes about being a poli-sci major himself,
Oh, wow.
and specifically choosing his college because they didn't require calculus.
Oh, that's funny.
It's like real do as I say, not as I do humor there.
Totally.
Makes you wonder why he puts so much emphasis on
Right.
something he didn't even do himself.
Exactly.
It seems like he sees this inherent value in
Yeah.
the hard sciences,
Okay.
that rigorous thinking and discipline,
Uh-huh.
that maybe he wishes he had cultivated more in his own education.
I see.
He seems to believe
Yeah.
that it translates to a strong work ethic. It's interesting.
Regardless of the actual job you're doing.
So if you're listening
Yeah.
and thinking, well, I didn't major in chemistry,
Right.
that's okay.
Exactly.
The point is,
Yeah.
what experiences have you had
Mm-hmm.
that demonstrate those same qualities?
Right.
What did you do that pushed you outside your comfort zone,
Mm-hmm.
required you to think critically,
Yeah.
or maybe just slog through something really tough because it needed to get done?
Totally.
It's about those transferable skills.
Yes.
Problem-solving perseverance, attention to detail.
Those are the things
Yeah.
that employers value, regardless of your specific background.
It's true.
And that's what really got people talking
Oh, yeah.
in the comments section.
The comments are a deep dive in themselves.
I bet.
We had everything from enthusiastic agreement to people pushing back hard on Rawls' whole premise.
Wow, so interesting.
So, for example,
Yeah.
Dr. Felix Carl Vogel,
Okay.
who's both a lawyer and a tax advisor,
Oh, wow.
totally agreed with Rawls.
He said, in his experience, people who come from more modest backgrounds
Yeah.
often turn out to be more ambitious,
Uh-huh.
hardworking,
Hmm.
and appreciative of the opportunities they get.
That's really interesting.
It really is, right?
It raises questions about
Yeah.
how privilege and socioeconomic background might shape
Mm-hmm.
not just our access to opportunities,
Right.
but also our attitudes toward work.
Yeah, like,
Did student B have to hustle more to get where they are?
exactly.
Does that translate to a greater drive to succeed?
It makes you wonder.
For sure.
Then there's Virab Kachatrian,
Okay.
who pointed out that just the act of switching
Uh-huh.
from a science background to law
Mm-hmm.
shows some pretty valuable traits right there.
Like what?
Courage to step outside your comfort zone,
Yeah.
intellectual curiosity,
Mm-hmm.
and the flexibility to adapt your skills to a new field.
And that's a great point, right?
It is.
It's not just about the subject matter.
Right.
It's about what those choices reveal about your character and your approach to learning.
Exactly.
And then, of course, you have those comments that just go straight for the gut feeling.
Totally.
Andreescu simply said,
Yeah.
I had the same gut feeling.
That's great.
And sometimes that's all it is, right?
Yeah.
Something about Student B's story
Yeah.
just feels more compelling.
I agree.
Yeah.
It does.
Mm-hmm. But it also makes you wonder, right? Is Rawls oversimplifying things a little bit? I mean, could Student A be just as driven and hardworking?
Right.
Even if they haven't faced those same kinds of challenges?
And Fayokemi Olabiolorundami,
Okay.
who's a professor,
Mm-hmm.
brings up that very point.
Okay, what did they say?
She basically says, hold on,
Uh-huh.
maybe student A is also brilliant and a hard worker.
Okay.
Why not just make a chemistry degree a requirement?
Oh, interesting.
If that's what you're really looking for.
It's a valid critique, isn't it?
Yeah.
It makes you think about whether Rawls is relying too much on his personal experience and maybe overlooking other indicators of intelligence and work ethic.
Totally.
I mean, what about those who excel in the humanities,
Yeah.
but also possess that grit and determination that he seems to admire?
Yeah. Are there other ways to demonstrate those qualities
Right.
that don't involve a science background?
It's a good question to ask yourself, too.
It is.
If you were in Rawls' shoes, what would you be looking for?
Right.
Beyond just the major on the resume.
Yeah. And this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Because a lot of the comments
Yeah.
actually shift the focus away
Okay.
from the major itself and toward the value of real-world experience,
Okay.
regardless of what it is.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like Jake Mitchell
Uh-huh.
zeroed in on student B's waitressing experience.
Okay.
And he sees that as a huge asset,
Really?
basically like a boot camp
Interesting.
for developing communication and people skills.
Right. Oh, I see.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Dealing with demanding customers,
Uh-huh.
multitasking like crazy,
Right.
staying cool under pressure.
Yeah.
Those are invaluable skills in any job,
For sure.
but especially in a field like law.
Absolutely.
It's like Rawls himself said.
Yeah.
It's not just about what you know.
Right.
It's about how you apply it
Uh-huh.
and how you interact with others.
And sometimes
Yeah.
those less traditional experiences can teach you more about those things
Yes,
than any classroom ever could.
totally. And Stephen Hoffman, another commenter,
Yeah.
totally agreed.
Okay.
Said that waiting tables is like improv for people skills,
Oh, that's a good one.
right?
Yeah.
You have to think on your feet,
Mm-hmm.
read the room,
Mm-hmm.
and connect with people from all walks of life.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what a trial lawyer needs to do.
Exactly.
It all comes back to those transferable skills we were talking about.
It does.
And that brings up a really important point that came up in the comments.
Okay.
This idea that not everyone has the same opportunities,
Right.
the same starting line.
Totally, like Mary Margaret Warren,
Huh?
who was a poli-sci major herself,
Mm-hmm.
but worked her way through both undergrad and law school waiting tables.
Wow.
She even made the dean's list,
Real.
which is a pretty big academic achievement,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
while working 2 jobs and taking a full course load.
That's amazing.
That really speaks volumes.
Yeah.
She's highlighting this hidden truth that for many students,
Yeah.
real-world experience isn't just about padding their resume.
Right.
It's a necessity.
Of course.
They're juggling multiple responsibilities,
Mm.
dealing with financial constraints,
Yeah.
and often facing challenges
Mm.
that their more privileged peers might not even be aware of.
It's true.
And that can actually be a huge advantage in the long run.
So.
It forces you to develop a
Yeah.
certain level of resilience,
Okay.
resourcefulness,
Uh.
and time management skills that you might not get from just focusing on academics.
You learn by doing.
Exactly.
It builds that grit and determination that employers are looking for.
It does.
So as you're listening to this,
Yeah.
think about your own journey.
Mm-hmm.
What seemingly unrelated experiences have you had
Right.
that might actually be relevant
Uh-huh.
to the jobs you're interested in?
Yeah, maybe you were captain of your sports team,
Okay.
organized events
Yeah.
for your community,
Mm.
or even just taught yourself a complex skill,
Right.
like coding or playing a musical instrument.
Well, it's a great example.
All of those things demonstrate
Yeah.
initiative,
Yeah.
leadership problem-solving, qualities that are valuable across industries.
Totally don't underestimate the power of those hidden skills.
Right.
They reveal a lot about your character and your potential,
Yeah.
even if they don't fit neatly into a job description.
I see what you mean.
And that's something that Rawls,
Yeah.
despite his focus on hard sciences, seems to understand intuitively.
Okay.
He's looking for those candidates
Yeah.
who have that extra something,
Right.
that spark of ambition and real-world experience that sets them apart.
It's like he's saying,
Yeah,
don't just tell me you're smart and hardworking.
right.
Show me.
Exactly.
And sometimes, like,
Yeah.
the most compelling evidence
Uh-huh.
comes from those unexpected places.
I see what you mean.
The experiences that might not fit neatly on a resume,
Right.
but that, like, reveal a depth of character and resilience.
Exactly. We hear so much about the importance of
Yeah.
soft skills, emotional intelligence these days.
Right.
Well, those qualities are often forged
Yeah.
through real-world challenges, like juggling a demanding job while you're in school, navigating tricky interpersonal situations, learning to adapt to unfamiliar environments.
Right. It's about dealing with the messiness of life
Yeah,
and coming out stronger on the other side.
I like that.
And that's what makes this whole deep dive so valuable.
Yeah,
It's not just about dissecting one guy's hiring preferences.
right,
It's a chance for you
right.
to reflect on your own journey,
Yep.
your own unique set of skills and experiences.
Exactly.
Identify those hidden strengths that might actually surprise a potential employer.
Think about those times you were thrown into the deep end,
Oh, yeah.
forced to figure things out on the fly,
Yeah.
maybe even failed, but learned some valuable lessons along the way.
Right.
Those are the stories
Yeah.
that make you interesting, memorable, and ultimately hireable.
Because at the end of the day, hiring is about more than just checking boxes on a resume.
Totally.
It's about finding people who can contribute to a team,
Right.
who are adaptable and eager to learn, and who bring a unique perspective to the table.
And this is where Rawls' insights,
Yeah.
despite their sometimes unconventional nature,
Yeah.
really resonate. He's challenging us to move beyond the
Yeah.
traditional markers of success and to
Yeah.
recognize the value
Yeah.
of diverse experiences.
So, to sum up this deep dive,
Okay.
there's no magic formula for getting hired,
Right.
but intelligence, work ethic, and real-world experience, those are the qualities that consistently stand out, often more so
Yeah.
than just a prestigious degree.
We live in a world overflowing with information,
That's true.
but it's the ability to apply that knowledge,
Yeah.
think critically, and connect with others authentically that truly sets you apart.
That's a good point.
So as you prepare for your next interview,
Yeah.
or even just navigate your career path,
Right.
remember this.
Okay.
What unique combination of skills and experiences
Yeah.
do you bring to the table
Well,
that might surprise a potential employer?
don't be afraid to showcase those hidden strengths.
Exactly.
Those unexpected experiences that have shaped who you are. You never know what might resonate with the person sitting across from you.
Right.
That's the beauty of the hiring process. It's a chance to connect, to tell your story, and to reveal the unique value you offer to the world.
Love it.
Now go out there and knock 'em dead.